All right. Welcome to another episode of Quick Talks. Today we got Kendric Harris, somebody I know for a long time. Good dude. And he recently just went to Brazil all by himself. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. So tell us why you went to Brazil in the first place.
Well, I went to Brazil because I had been talking to my friend. So when I got to Orlando, I had been learning Spanish previously, like, in high school, in the school, you learn Spanish or whatever. You don't really learn anything, but you're in a Spanish class for 2 years.
Right.
So I had been I was like, oh yeah, I want to learn Spanish, you know what I mean? Because I live in Florida, and Florida has a lot of Latinos and everything. So that being said, when I go to college in Orlando, and when I went to Orlando, I was working at the outlets. And I had been learning or practicing Spanish and stuff. And then I was like, okay, I can use it on the international customers. And then when I got there, I was like, this is not Spanish. What is this? Because a lot of the tourists in Orlando were from Brazil, actually. They get over like 1 million Brazilians a year. So Spanish wasn't helping. Obviously there was a lot of Spanish speakers, but the Brazil, the Portuguese language was more common and more active. So I decided to learn Portuguese, and it was this app called Hello Talk. And basically it's where you exchange. So it's free too. And what you do is you teach English and they teach you whatever other language, you know what I mean? So it's an exchange for exchange and to help with conversation building and everything. So I met a friend there, a girl named Vanessa, and we started talking, and I started helping her with English. She started helping me with Portuguese, and then she lived in Brazil. So I eventually, after a year and a half, I just was like, I want to go there. I just don't want to learn and not be able to use the language. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that process. I know, but we want them to know. So you tell me how far out did you book the flight, and tell me, the difficulties that you had with your flight with all the testing.
So with COVID, I planned on going a lot earlier, but with COVID, everything was pushed back and everything. So basically I had booked the flight, I want to say February.
Mm-hmm.
And then February 2021, and then to leave in May, May 1st, May 2nd. The only problem with that was, so fast forward, I'm waiting, I'm counting down with their 60 days left, 40 days left. And then it gets to literally the day, May 2nd, that Sunday or whatever. And so what happened is because of COVID, Brazil is really strict on the rules of entering the country. So basically you have to have a COVID shot 72 hours within a 72-hour period, 72-hour window. And within that window, it has to be exactly 72 hours. So when I got to I was flying Delta. So when I got to basically showing my passport and everything ready, at the airport, they were like, it's 70, you're after the 72-hour window, you're at the 73, because it was based off when you actually board the plane. And if I would have boarded the plane an hour earlier, I would have been able to go. So basically they were like, you have to rebook your flight and everything, because they were really, really strict on the whole process. So that sucked. that was horrible, bro. That feeling, my heart dropped. I was like, man, what? I've been waiting all this time. But fast forward, I just had to get another COVID test, and then I ended up leaving. Instead of that Sunday, I left that Wednesday and got there Thursday.
Okay. So it was the results of the test had to be within 72 hours, or taking the test, or what?
No, so not the results, but taking it. Taking the test. Yeah, bro. So that's what that was really horrible, because it's based off of when you get the result. When you get the results, because you have to get the results before your plane leaves to have the results, but you also have to take it, so you're within a window. It was crazy. It was a lot.
How much money did that cost?
It was free, because Walgreens, they do free COVID tests. Yeah.
I know a couple other people that travel, and they said they would pay for like a rapid test so that they didn't encounter that problem. But the prices they told me, I was like, I don't know if I would do that.
Were they saying they were leaving whatever country they were in, or they were leaving America?
No, they were leaving America, but
Oh wow.
you could pay for a test where you get your results. I don't know if it's the same day or within 24 hours or whatever, but it was a lot of
That's
money.
crazy.
It was like
Because like
170.
oh wow, that's wild. Because with Brazil, it has to be the specific PCR test, and that's a lab test. So I couldn't do a
Oh,
rapid one. So it had to go to the lab.
oh no, that
You know
makes
what I mean?
sense. I think
Yeah.
the other people that they were telling me, I think they were going to probably less strict places, so maybe it didn't matter.
I got
But
you.
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they were paying for more rapid tests. So
Damn, that's crazy. 170?
yeah, bro,
Jeez.
that's too much for me.
That's a lot.
Yeah. All right, bro. So you finally get on a plane, you finally get to Brazil. So we're there now. How scared were you, bro?
Bro. Like, man, I would like to say, I was just like, I was ready. I was like, but like, because I had a lot of people who were nervous for me,
Right.
And who were scared for me. So obviously those fears get in your head. And you know what I mean? Like you can act like you don't care, but I mean, like you hear what people are saying, and then you watch the world news, and it's like Brazil's like crazy. It's quarantined, and then you hear about the violence. And bro, so what's crazy is the day before I left, I was supposed to leave that Sunday, and so Saturday was my last day working. I had a customer. He was my last customer, and he was Brazilian, bro. And and I wouldn't suggest he talks to anybody about going to Brazil because like he was like, hey man, be safe, bro. Like everything he was saying was just like, bro, hold on to your bags. He was like, dude's gonna be watching you at the airport time you get off the plane. They gonna know you're not Brazilian, bro. So I was like, he's basically saying you're gonna have a target on your back. So good luck trying to make it out. So that was the last person I talked to. And I was just like, so everything was just going through my head, man. And I was like, dang, this is gonna be crazy. But at the same time, I think because I had missed my flight the first time, I was just in the mood of I just want to be there. Like I just want to get there. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of my nerves kind of dropped or whatever, but I was still like cautious because I'm a cautious person. So
right.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about, misconceptions, like what was valid and what was not. Like, what did you think before you got there that turned out to be true? And what did you think before you got there that turned out to be false?
Turned out to be true, turned out to be false. Let's see. So basically, because it was like the COVID time, basically everything that I seen on the world news was like making it out to be almost like Brazil was worse than America, even though the United States has lost more people and stuff like that. The news always wants to portray another country as being worse. And that was totally false. I'm not saying that people in that country haven't died and thousands of people haven't died. And a lot of the worst areas are like maybe the Amazon area, and even like the bigger cities, because Sao Paulo has like millions and millions of people. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that struggle isn't real for the people dealing with COVID, but at the same time, it wasn't the same reality as I was seeing on TV because I wasn't inside a hospital in an ICU unit. You know what I mean? So it was no different people here, but people have more respect for wearing a mask there for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So that was a big misconception that turned out to be false. Also, honestly, to me, my reality was the danger of it. I'm not saying that country isn't dangerous, but at the same time, America's dangerous too. So I think it's based off of your worldview because I was reading a lot of blogs and different stuff. But I also came to the consideration that like the understanding that the same people who were writing the blogs also didn't look like me.
Yeah, no, that's true.
What I mean? So those people might be scared to go where my grandparents live at. You know what I mean? At the same time, you know what I mean? So
no, that's facts, bro. That's facts.
So I was also thinking about that, and then And like, I was like, I'm not gonna go. I did read a lot of like videos and look at a lot of videos and read a lot of blogs of saying like what not to do, like don't bring attention to yourself. So I took all those. I took all that information in, and I didn't want to bring a lot of attention to myself, wear no change, no extra stuff. So, but to me, I didn't feel like unsafe really at all. Only like maybe one time during the whole trip that I like feel like,
what was that time?
when I went to the my girl Vanessa, and we went out with her friends to a bar. And then afterwards, they're like, okay, so we want to go to like this, our favorite spot or whatever. So mind you, they're from there, right? So a spot, I'm like, okay, cool. They were like, yeah, it's a pizza joint or whatever. So her friend who suggested it lives in the favelas.
Bro.
Yeah. So that's where the spot was. So we were there, and it wasn't, looking back, it wasn't the smartest thing because it was already late, bro. And
what time?
It was like, so we were there, it was like maybe 10 when we were at the bar. But when we went to the favela, it was like, bro, it was like pushing 10:30. We didn't leave till like 12. So you know what I mean? And then like it's real, bro. Like it's real. Like there was like dudes doing so like in Brazil it's a lot of motorcycles and stuff, so it was a lot of dudes on motorcycles. It was like dudes walking with pit bulls off the leash. Like it was real, bro. Like it was real. Like but nobody said anything to me. I didn't. Now we did have a plan of when we got there not speaking any English, so at the same time a lot of people probably didn't even know that I was like American or whatever, because I was wearing like sweats, like I had changed and wore just like a regular shirt and some sweats or whatever, not to bring attention to myself. Yeah. So yeah, but I was man, I was freaking out. I'm not gonna lie. I was just so paranoid, bro. Like the whole time I couldn't really even enjoy myself, to be honest, the whole time I was there.
No, that's fair. That's pretty valid, bro. But I mean, it's kind of like you said earlier though, bro, like that's kind of everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even I mean, the people listening don't know who this is, but me and Kendall, your brother, when we used to go clubbing in San Antonio, you know what I mean? There were some spots that we went to, bro. Like I would tell a tourist, definitely don't go here, bro, because it'd be shootings in the parking lot and stuff. Yep. But at the same time, like not saying it wasn't dangerous, but because we lived there and like we were comfortable, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was gonna get shot in the parking lot. I seen people get shot, but it just didn't seem like it was gonna happen to me. Yeah. But if somebody wasn't from there, they definitely would have been sweating, bro. Like, yo, these dudes are looking crazy out here. Like,
yeah, what? Bro.
You know, so I think that's definitely it's valid that you were uneasy, especially when you're not from there. You don't know if people are planning stuff, if somebody's already spotted you and called somebody else or something, you know what I mean? And so I don't even know how much Portuguese you speak, bro. Like what level are you at? Can you have a decent conversation with somebody?
So yeah, I could definitely have a conversation with somebody because I had conversations with people. Now, whether I'm saying everything correctly,
that don't matter.
With Portuguese, you know, it's like and same with Spanish, just like masculine and feminine and stuff like that. So, but I understand more than I'm able to speak. Of course. That helped because I was with Vanessa, my friend who I was with, and my girl. Sorry, and she was like translating everything. So like a lot of this stuff I only really had to understand, and I understand more than I'm able to speak. So that was like perfect. But I did have conversation with people without like her helping me translate and stuff. That's so that good. Was dope. That was dope. But I would say like, go ahead. But level wise, I don't know, because there's like a scale, like what C1, A1, or whatever. I don't know exactly, but I would say that I'm probably maybe 6 months, maybe 6 months to 8 months from like if studying every day, putting in the hours, from maybe fluency, bro.
Okay, yeah. I don't really. I've seen that scale before, and I took that little test like, I don't know, like 6 months ago. I don't remember what I got. I think I got like B2 or something like that. But I don't really pay attention to that because it's the same in like, to me, in like English. Like you could be very well spoken on one subject, and another subject you could just, I'm like, I don't know nothing about cars, you know what I mean? So any kind of
fact.
tool you tell me, any kind of language you say about it, I wouldn't even understand it in English. So if someone's talking about it in Spanish, I just would be lost, you know? So
Yeah.
and so just, but like the things that I do know well, like I know them very well, you know what I mean? So, but I only brought that up because I was gonna ask, if somebody was like up to no good, do you think you would have heard them if they said something like, let's get this guy or something like that? You know enough Portuguese to know that you're in danger, right?
Yeah, and bro, I think yes. I mean, you know, like for instance, like I think, but like for instance, you know, like for instance, there's like AAVE or whatever, like African American Vernacular English, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we're talking or slang, quote unquote, when we're talking, like there might be words that an American might not understand.
Yeah.
And that might really be an American, you know what I mean? Just might not be from the South, or because even no matter what area you're from, like Black people don't all have the same slang in America.
Nice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the way that they talk, because they're actually from like the favelas or the barrios or like the hood there. So they talk, they might say stuff that I might have not learned in my program. Like, you know what I mean? So so I mean, and I listen to music, so I think I'm up, but you're never up like when you're not from a
That's
place.
true. That's what I always tell people, bro. Like speaking is the most important thing, bro, because you could learn everything in a book in English, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I walk up to people, I say, what's happening? You know what I mean? I don't say, hey, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah,
How is it going? Like, I don't
exactly.
talk like that.
Facts.
So if you've been
Facts.
studying, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I walk up to you and I'm like, what's happening? You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
what? So like, what that dude just say? You know? So nah, that's true, man.
Yeah,
That's true. So
facts.
but that's cool, man. So what what did you see? We talked about good stuff, we talked about bad stuff, but you know, I only have the images of Brazil that I see in the news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never been there. So was it what we see in the news? Even the favela, was it as bad as we see? You know what I mean?
I think it really depends on what the person's seen. Like, can you like be more specific? Like when you say seen, like does it look the way that you see on the news? Like the houses, yeah, it looks like that. Yeah,
But
it looks like that.
okay.
But you're saying like, is it just drive-by shootings the whole time? Like dead bodies, people walking over dead bodies or whatever?
Hey, bro. Right before
Nah.
you went, I was looking up articles, bro. Every time I typed in American or British and
Yeah.
favela, bro, it was just like American accidentally drives into favela, killed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
British person accidentally drives into favela, killed. I'm like, damn, bro, you can't even drive up in there.
So yeah, no. So like, what's crazy is like, so because I actually stayed with my girl for two days, like a night or whatever. I stayed at her house, and she lives in like the hood, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't tell the difference between the barrios or the hood and the favelas. Like,
Oh, for real?
I couldn't really tell the difference. Like one was like more, nah, bro. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't really tell the difference. So, so like, so like it was interesting though, because we were coming from like my hotel, which was on like the nice side or whatever. And like the Uber had took us because her family had a barbecue and invited me to the barbecue. So the Uber was driving, and the Uber was talking about like, oh, this is like a like you see the Uber like look around or whatever. So, but the Ubers were, everybody was cool or whatever. But you notice little stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because you're always like on your head on a swivel, and the Uber's just looking like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, but like so like the people I was with, like Vanessa, her brother, and then like her friends, her family, they're from there, bro. So like they were just telling me stuff like people in that hood don't mess with people in that hood. Like it's people from other hoods, kind of the same way that people move in the US. So it was like people from there don't mess with people from there. You're not gonna rob somebody from your hood because you know that the person from your hood is from like, you know what I mean? So I was with them, bro. So I felt safe, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like after the second day, I wasn't looking around my back the whole time. I was just like, just just loving it, bro. It was the best experience of my life, bro. It was cool. Like we were walked around, we went to markets, like walking through the hood, walking through the barrios, favelas, whatever you want to say. Went to like some food spots, went to this on Sunday, they have like this long market and it's people like yelling, serving food. I bought me some hot sauce. Like it was cool. We went to the corner store, got some groceries, just walking, bro. And it was like, it looks the way that it looks like on the news and stuff, but the reality for me wasn't, I didn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a different infrastructure, but like the same kind of people.
Exactly.
I feel like that's the case like everywhere, bro. I mean, obviously there's like some real third world countries where stuff is like different, but I mean, everywhere that I've been, stuff looks different, but people are just people. You know what I'm saying? We speak different languages and stuff like that, but it's mainly the same. But about the markets and stuff, bro. That's something that I mean, I guess there's places here that have that, but it's not as common. So like, I want to talk about some differences between Brazil and the United States. Like, okay, like walking and getting that fresh food. What else? What other things were there?
So that was huge because I don't do that. Like I drive to Publix, I drive to wherever, Walmart or whatever. I'm not walking nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? And whenever you see a girl, like for instance, I'll be like messaging her like before we met in person or whatever, and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm just walking, going to get groceries." I'm like, dang, like it's 7. That's not safe. Like that's what I'm thinking. Because I see a girl walking, I'm just like, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah. But being there and seeing it, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I understand now. So like that was a huge difference. The driving, bro, dog. I've never seen like some Fast and Furious stuff by everybody, bro. Like the driving was crazy. Like but it was the norm, whether the person was in a Corolla, a Nissan Altima. Is it Nissan Altima? I don't know if it's Nissan Altima.
I think it's Altima, okay. But I don't know cars like that.
Whether it's Corolla or a Range Rover, bro, it could have been a nice car and a Corolla, would I have a Corolla or whatever. And bro, like they were driving the same speed, like bumper to bumper. It was just like wild, bro. I would be scared to drive over there personally.
You see any accidents?
Yeah. So we had drove. So there, it's like Sao Paulo is like the major business center for Brazil, and it's actually the biggest city in South America. So it has, the state, if I'm not mistaken, has like over 22 million people, but the city of Sao Paulo has like 12 million. So it's like the New York of them, but it's actually bigger than New York. So there they have this thing called iFood, which is like DoorDash for us, DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever. And the people are on motorcycles. The people who do iFood and stuff are only on motorcycles and bikes. Like people really grinding it out will be on bikes, bro, in the rain, bro. Like it rained 2 days. Crazy. Like, yeah, bro, like 8 o'clock, just like on a bike or whatever. So a lot of people are either on bikes or motorcycles. And bro, they would zoom. I'm talking like zoom, like not on no Harleys, but like zoom in, bro. And it was like, so I did see a motorcycle accident and like the dude had broke his legs or something. Or Uber had like drove past it. And like traffic was stopped a little bit. But that was like the norm. And they're known for taking off like side mirrors because they just zoom in, bro, like trying to get the money, just trying to grind. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. That was like, dang, that was crazy.
All right, so traffic is a little bit different. Fresh food. What else? What other things did you see that you're like, oh, we don't do that here, or that's different?
Okay, so my friend Vanessa, her dad had took me to he had took me to the airport that night, right? So it might have been like maybe like my flight left at like 10:50, so it might have been like 8 we started driving. And the airport is an hour away from the metro city or whatever. The metro area, but it's like the main city. So on the highway, it was like an hour, maybe 15 minutes. So on the highway, bro, was concession stands, like concession stands. They're like rolling. I don't want to say like a stand, but it was like rolling, and it had like food, like lots of chips, like different food, drinks and stuff. And it was people in the middle. I'm not talking about on the side of the highway. I'm talking about on the middle of the highway. So cars have to go around, like on
That's
the middle
weird.
of the highway, bro. And it wasn't, and by the time it was an hour drive to the airport, I saw about 30 different people at different sections of the highway. And they were
So
just
what,
10 minutes.
you just stop on the highway and get some or what?
Bro, so they just she told me that they just run over and like, because everybody knows there that everything is $1 supposedly. So like you just go and they'll like just like, bro, it is, I had never seen anything like that in my life, like on the highway. And bro, like I was like, so is this legal? She was like, I mean, no. but but bro, like it was like, she was like, the people either do that or they're gonna be trying to rob somebody. So like you saw people that look like me and you doing it, and you know what I mean, and other races too, but and it was just, that was crazy, bro, in the middle of the highway, and like you saw like police, and I thought they were coming to them. They drove past it because it was just the norm. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, police weren't really doing no type of traffic stops at all.
Really?
Yeah, not at all, bro. Because it was like how people drive, it was just the norm. So none of that. Nah, no, nope.
That's actually an interesting topic. You know, generally here, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know for us, when you see the police, you get a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Do they have that same feeling there or no?
So they have the same issues, as in the police typically are only in the rich areas. And like for instance, my girl Vanessa, her aunt had been like, a month ago, her aunt had been like robbed in their neighborhood. And like dudes had like told her to get out the car, and they stole her car and like her wedding ring and everything. And supposedly it took forever for the police to come, and when they did come, they was only there for a short minute. So it seems like the same problems that are happening in like majority minority neighborhoods or African American neighborhoods here. You know what I mean? So the police were typically only in like the nice areas. Like they were a whole bunch in like the same section of like there would be like 10 of them standing in the same section near like a mall. But like to me, they weren't out and about. I didn't see them like in the areas that you would expect them to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was and for it to be such a big city, I honestly didn't see as much as I thought I would. Like like here, I feel like if it was like a major city, I would have been seeing like 30 in this perimeter. But nah, I didn't really see that or nothing like that.
But you didn't see no crime while you were there either, huh?
Nah, I didn't see any crime, honestly.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 8 days.
8 days.
7 nights, I want to say. Yeah. And I did see I didn't see no crime stopped or whatever. Like people, when we were in like when I stayed the night over her house, like you could hear like people like dog fighting and stuff, but it was just like, no, it wasn't no police or nothing. It was just like the norm.
You hear any gunshots while you were there?
Not that I remember. Honestly, I hear more gunshots here because people be hunting and stuff.
I was about to say, bro, if you don't remember, you ain't hear that many. So
yeah, nah. I wasn't. It was hard for me to sleep because the dogs were going crazy, bro.
For real?
Like, yeah, and that's not my reality here, so I wasn't used to it. But like, they was like barking like crazy, bro. Like, I had a hard time going to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was like, yeah, it was definitely a memory.
Were they fighting or were they just barking a bark?
So you could hear the difference between dog fighting. So there was dogs fighting, and then there was dogs just barking too. And then they would like stop, and then like it seemed like everybody had a dog. So like at nighttime, they was just like going off. You know what I mean? Barking because the other dog is barking, and the other dog was barking. So it was like it was a lot. But other than that, bro, I didn't feel it was amazing experience, bro. Like I would want to live there.
For real?
Yeah, facts, bro. Not necessarily in that area. Certain areas, but like, yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like,
okay, well, since you brought up the future, let's talk about that. What are your future plans? Obviously, you want to get more fluent in Portuguese,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, facts. Yeah.
And then once you do that, what you want to do? You want to travel to more Portuguese speaking countries? You want to go back to Brazil and just explore more, or what?
Yeah, so I would want to go to like, yeah, to explore more and go to like because most people when they think of Brazil, they just think of Rio and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool getting like a different experience, being able to say, nah, like I actually been in Sao Paulo or whatever. But I do want to go to Rio. I do want to go to Salvador, which is
Mm-hmm.
like in the northern area of Brazil, like the northeast area, and they're known for like having like strong African roots.
Yeah.
So it's supposedly like the most African city outside of the continent of Africa.
Oh,
You know
really?
what I mean? Yeah, yeah, bro. So
I mean,
it
that
should
makes
be,
sense though, because they had the most enslaved people go to
yeah,
Brazil. So
yeah, bro. And I will say that's a huge difference between there and the US. To me, my reality was, because I don't want to take away from any real Brazilian and how they feel about their country, but my reality, what I saw um was, and just from what I've been learning was, is that the difference is here America mostly discriminates against certain people. We know who those
mhm.
people are. People that look like you and me. They get
Right.
majority of the bad end of the deal. In Brazil, it seems like they don't it's no type of prejudice of who can get the worst end of the deal. It's more of a
Mhm.
class system than a racial problem, if that makes
But
sense. More of a
but
class problem.
do you think that that class problem is separated by race? Because I've seen in like other countries, like
Hmm.
I think you probably seen my bro from Colombia. Like he kind of describes the same thing. He'll be like, yeah, there's six like classes of neighborhoods and blah blah
Hmm.
blah. When I look at the pictures, like class 6 is like all white people, and like class 1-0 is like mainly black people. So I'm like, there's some kind of like
Yeah,
correlation
yeah.
here.
So like the reality of it is that, yeah, like majority of the black people are going to be in that lowest class structure. But I think the difference is the like white people in that country aren't the majority.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that
That's
makes sense.
that's what's so different. So yeah, in that sense,
Mm.
you're right about like, well, majority of the black people who look like us are in that low class, and that's true. But I think what took me off guard was that majority of the people are pardo or mixed.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I guess what they say the world is supposed to be in the future. It's like
Yeah.
Brazil already hit that. So like
Yeah.
it's a mix between black and indigenous or black and white, and that's the majority. So I think that's what kind of threw me off. Like, wow, you know what I mean? You just didn't see a whole bunch of rich white people. It was rich mixed people, I guess.
That
You know
makes
what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. So, do you actually want to go live there one day, or are you just
No, no,
saying?
no. So yeah. So speaking on the future, my like, so I actually have a like a professional tutor from Brazil, uh, and he lives in Brazil, which is the capital, and he actually has been like coaching me and helping me because my ultimate goal is to. They have this program for the Department of State called the Consular Fellows program, basically, and basically you it's whatever like main languages that they're in need of, they'll basically um and Portuguese and Chinese and some other languages are one of the languages that they're in need of. And basically what you would do is you just have to be fluent, and then you have to go through the program and you could work at like an embassy over there.
Oh,
And
that's dope,
yeah,
bro.
so and it's a 5-year program, but the thing is, what's the difference between that? You'll be doing the same work as like a diplomat, but the difference is diplomats are kind of like military in the sense of you don't get to choose where you go.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, and to me, I was like, well, I do want to travel the world, but I don't want to go to like necessarily everywhere. You know what I mean? I know
Yeah,
exactly where they're gonna send me.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I was like, I really do want to go to Brazil. So I was like, my goal is to be fluent and then try to get into the program so I could work at like an embassy in Brazil for like it's a 60-month program. And then the
Mm.
thing is, what's cool about that is you can get out whenever you want to.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so like you don't have to stay the whole 60 months or whatever. You can get out whenever you want to. And then I was like, oh, that's dope. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's my ultimate goal.
that's cool, man. And as far as like language learning, are you once you're Well, I don't know. Fluency is like a broad spectrum. I'm kind of
Yeah.
figuring that out now. It's hard to pinpoint fluency, but once you feel like you're fluent, are you just gonna keep trying to improve your Portuguese, or are you gonna try to learn other languages? Because you said you already have a little bit of background in Spanish, so do you want to expand that or what?
I would say yes. Yes, because I don't know, just living in Florida and wanting to go to more countries. Spanish is just a language that I feel like you just if you're into language learning, you should learn it. Like there is no if
Yeah.
and buts about it. So definitely I want to learn Spanish. But right now I want to be as fluent in Portuguese as I can and learn more because I tried to do both at the same time because I didn't want to give up
Oh,
all the
that's a
time I
horrible
spent on
idea.
Spanish. It's impossible for me. Man, it's impossible for me. Like
Yeah,
I
bro.
was speaking Spanish to Brazilians and they was getting like offended because they don't speak Spanish and everybody thinks they do.
Mm.
And it was a lot. It was a lot.
I've heard people speak Portuguese, and I'm kind of like, damn, I kind of want to learn Portuguese, but I'm like, it needs to be like way in the future when I
Yeah,
like
facts.
really have a hold on Spanish because I be messing stuff up in Spanish right now, so I can't be putting a third language up in
Yeah,
there. So
exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. If I could, I would learn every language, but I'll just stick with Portuguese for now and then see if I can go to Spanish after or whatever. You know what I mean?
What's
But there's
your?
some languages that I have no interest of learning, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, me too. No,
you know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah. Well, because to me, like language is obviously a big part of culture, right? And to like really get a hold of a language, like you need to be a part of the culture too, which is like,
Yeah.
you have to learn about Brazil, you know what I mean, to
Yep.
really get a hold of Portuguese because there's certain terms and there's certain things, and it only makes sense if you know like the background behind it.
Yeah.
And so for other languages, like no disrespect to them, but I'm kind of like, I don't want to know about that culture, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't want to learn the language for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Bro. And you're 100% right, bro. Cause it is for me and what you're saying for you too, it's impossible to learn a language without learning the culture. It's in one, bro. It's in one because, like, for instance, like before, like being a part of like Pimsleur and having a tutor, and you're able to like learn like words and different phrases and stuff. But just because you know a phrase doesn't mean you know how they use the phrase because language is more than just words. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
like actions and feelings. So how they say something and how you say something could be the difference between them thinking you're upset and them thinking you're mad and stuff because it might not be a reality in their culture of how they would use that word just because you do know the word. So I think that's what's cool because I do actually love like the culture of Brazil.
Yeah.
And like I just think it's amazing. Like I just think the country is amazing. The food is on point. Like just the everything. The music is dope. So it makes me want to learn the language even more. You know what I mean? And feel like I'm not working, but I'm having fun while doing it. You know? So
Yeah. Do you, well, I got two things I want to say. I guess I'll ask the first thing first. Do you ever get anybody that's just like, why are you doing that? Like, are you wasting your time learning Portuguese? You got any negativity about learning Portuguese?
um no, bro. And I only say no because uh the people who I tell stuff like a lot of information to and stuff, I don't go around telling everybody and their mom like, oh yeah, I'm learning Portuguese. But the people who I do tell, like I just don't tell my business to everybody. So if somebody does know that I'm like learning Portuguese or know I went to Brazil or something like that, it's mostly people who like I'm cool with. And like I already know like the person if I can tell them stuff stuff or if they're like a Debbie Downer or whatever. So
Yeah.
if I know that you're gonna react because you reacted to stuff before, I'm not gonna tell you.
Right.
So everybody that I told that I'm learning Portuguese and stuff, like or if they ask me or whatever, has been cool. Most of the time it's Brazilians or people like you, people who I'm cool with, my family and stuff. Other than that, like
Yeah.
keep them need to know, I guess. But no, I haven't
Okay.
gotten any negativity as up to this point. Not at all.
And you said you've told Brazilians, so I'm guessing you've had encounters with Brazilians and you heard them speaking Portuguese and you tried to speak Portuguese to them.
Yeah, yeah,
How does
facts.
that
So
usually go? Are they usually excited or what?
uh Sometimes, bro, like, so because like when I was working in Orlando, like retail in Orlando, there's like a lot of Brazilians. So I got to like practice. And even here, like you'll get a few Brazilians up here in North Florida. And like sometimes it'll be like, oh wow. And sometimes they'll feel weird because it'll be like they'll be speaking Portuguese within like each other, and then like basically talking crap about the place or the store or whatever. And then if you try to say, and I might not even heard that they were talking bad, but just from their reaction, I'm like, oh, they probably think I'm maybe a Brazilian or something, or they just think I know Portuguese, so they feel bad. So like sometimes they'll be like or whatever. Sometimes the people will just speak to me in English. I guess,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That happens a lot. Maybe I don't know if it's because my Portuguese isn't good, or they just feel comfortable, or they want you to know.
It's actually that's actually a big issue. I had that experience a lot in Spanish, and I would see other YouTubers like say the same thing. And actually, this dude that I follow on here, his name is Mike Ben, bro. He made a video recently, and he was talking to some dudes in the gym, and they basically said like just be positive about it. Like some people are not gonna react the way you want them to, and some people, you never know. You just never know what somebody got going on, bro. They might feel offended that you think that they can't speak English. They might just want to show you like, hey, I can speak English, or, or also just, it could also, you could take it one way, but for them, it could be a respect thing. Like, oh, you're trying to speak my language. Let me try to speak your language. But then like for you like, damn, I want to hear Portuguese, bro. I'm not trying to speak in English, So, but yeah, that happens to me all the time, bro. Like, I try speaking to someone in Spanish and they're like, yeah, that'll be $5. And I'm like, oh, okay. So,
yeah, I never really thought about it like that, but that makes sense. Yeah. But I think what's crazy is like, because there's more like finding a Spanish speaker in Florida is not hard, bro.
Right.
It's not hard. So like, and then like my manager, she speaks Spanish, so Spanish is just is normal here. But when I hear Portuguese, it's like I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh snap! Let me try to practice, because I don't have a lot of practice with people here. So when that happens, sometimes I'm like, dang, man, shoot,
yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? But for the most part, bro, Brazilians are dope, bro. They're super friendly, and they'll just like start going off talking or whatever. And then I would have to talk in English to understand everything that they're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That happens too, though. That's what always happens to me, bro. Either they speak back in English, or they be like, "Oh, his accent is good. He speaks Spanish," and then they start going off, and I'm like, "All right, bro. Like, I ain't there yet. You gotta slow down a little bit." Like, so,
yeah. People
that's
people assume that you fluent, and I'm like, nah, bro. I just been practicing this phrase forever.
Nah, that's real though. That's real. So before we head out, two more things. One, like what tips would you give someone that's trying to learn Portuguese? Like maybe some mistakes that you made, or like what's the better way in your opinion, because everyone has their own way. And two, just let everybody know where they can follow you at social media, just in case you start posting more stuff about Portuguese and your journey and stuff.
All right, I gotta look to see what my Instagram thing is. I wasn't prepared for this, bro. I don't be on. All right, let's see. Okay. So basically, what I would say, like, to your first thing was, you want to learn Portuguese, man. Like, just realize that it's gonna be a process. You're not gonna be fluent in a day or whatever. But first, like, to see if you even really enjoy it, because you do have to like the culture. You can start and then you get into the culture aspect and you're like, oh, I don't even like this. This doesn't interest me. So just like watch a movie, listen to some music, follow some good looking girls on Instagram, like anything to get you motivated. You know what I mean? Because if you're not motivated, you're not gonna do it. So I would say just like try to get into different culture aspects or anything. Even you can go to a Brazilian restaurant, a steakhouse or whatever. They have a lot here. And just see if you like anything about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then find people on YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube for free. You don't got to spend no money. And they'll just like start talking about the different country aspects and just see if you like it. And then if you like it, there's like Pimsleur. Pimsleur is a really good program. There's other programs out there. Some cost, some don't. italki. Jalen told me about italki. getting a tutor from there, you know what I mean? And you'll be good to go. Just enjoy, just take your time, don't stress about it.
Yeah,
And
no,
don't
that's
give up.
important. It's a process. That's that's the problem with YouTube, man. There's so many videos that are like how I became fluent in 2 months, how I became fluent in blah blah. It's like, no, you didn't, bro. Like
Yeah.
they be
Or
lying,
them 30-day challenges be killing me,
bro.
bro.
They be lying, bro. And even if they like achieved a lot in those 3 months or whatever, like they they just practice like a section so that they could get really good at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like they're not fluent, bro. Like they be
Yeah.
like,
And then I will also say this, bro. And maybe with Spanish is different because you can go to some places in Texas and Cali and feel like you in Mexico or something.
yeah.
But like whatever language you're learning, bro, try to book a flight to the place where they speak it, because that will make or break whether you want to keep doing it or not. Like to learn a language and to never go to the place, it's pointless. Like, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you learn Spanish, go to Puerto Rico or something. Go to a place outside where the majority of the people just speak it. You know what I mean?
Nah,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because those immersions are different, bro. Different level.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Like you said, it's a little different with Spanish because there's some places in America where they don't even be speaking English. You know, like Miami, New York City, some places, Los Angeles too. Shit, even San Antonio, bro. When I worked at Office Max in San Antonio, bro, sometimes we'll have customers that just didn't speak English, bro. And at that time, I didn't really know no Spanish besides high school. So, you know, they asked for some paper or something. I'll be like, I know where that's at, but that's all I can really do. but yeah, so it is a little different with Spanish. You could probably go somewhere in the country and immerse yourself.
Facts. Yeah, major facts. Like, bro, in Miami, they have signs that say, we speak English, because so many people speak Spanish, bro. Like in Miami, bro, it's wild, bro. Like I used to get customers who were mad at me in Orlando because I didn't know Spanish. They'd be like, I'd be like, I'm sorry, bro. It's cool, bro.
That was funny, bro.
Oh man,
that's funny. All right, bro. What's your Instagram? And are you ever gonna start a YouTube channel, bro?
Yeah, that's my objective, man. I have a song, by the way, called Brazil. It's on my YouTube channel. And I made it before I went, but
bro, hopefully, did you record anything when you were in Brazil?
No, but I did make some contacts out there who were working on a song, but I gotta record it here.
No, not a song. Did you record any videos?
I thought you wanted my SoundCloud. Nah, but so yeah. So most of the time I was enjoying my experience, and I didn't want to get my phone taken. Yeah. So my girl, she recorded like videos and different stuff, like me trying Brazilian food and stuff like that. So
bro,
if I
post any of it,
yeah. If I can, I will. Some of it I can't. It's inappropriate to post, but some stuff I can post, so I will.
And the videos that y'all making, bro. Well, anyway,
we still recording.
Yes, still tell your Instagram and your YouTube name, and maybe we'll get some posts about Portuguese in Brazil in the future.
Yeah, so my YouTube is Kendric Harris.
Okay, I'll put a link in the bio.
All right, and then my Instagram is Kendric Harris _
Okay. All right, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show today, bro. This was a good one. I think people are gonna like to hear it. I got a lot of people that are trying to learn the language or trying to travel, so this will be good for them to hear somebody that actually did it at a young age too, by yourself, bro. That's really dope. I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, thanks, bro. You helped me. Like, you gave me inspiration. So, yeah, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, man. You have a good day. I'm gonna record.
Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. You gotta do that.